Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm back on again with Flowgli. He's just released his newest single titled Riya IRL, and I can't wait to hear all about the song, but only, I want to hear about you and what you've been up to and what's news in your life. So first off, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you
Thanks
doing?
for having me, man.
What's news in the life of Flowgli? What's happening?
Um, so yeah, I mean, thanks again. Um, I don't have many understanding people to talk to about this. So I really appreciate this connection more than
Of
anything else,
course.
you know. So and yeah, so some of the things we talked about last time.
Yeah,
Um, it's good that we do this as often as possible because you know like you'll get to see how the music reflects the overall picture of things, the bigger
totally.
picture of things.
It's the
Yeah,
evolution of your sound and it's the evolution of what you're making. And it's kind of cool to see the differences from song to song.
yeah, thanks. So um it kind of follows on that nicely from the last release, Only Fangs. When I was really struggling with as we mentioned, we talked about before, um stuff like how to navigate this marketing and PR game,
Right.
especially through Instagram and all that stuff, and all of the bullshit that is out there. Um, we touched on that stuff last week or last whenever it was, and the pain really of whether it's perceived or real, the feeling that nobody is listening to what you're doing.
Hmm.
Which I mean, that's probably, it's a half truth. I mean, there are people listening, but A, not knowing, and B,
Right.
just really, yeah, just the struggle to, as you said somewhere, I think you wrote it, like the struggle to just to get people to press play on your thing. And
It's
you
true.
know, yeah, and I mean, I have to focus so much of my energy, which is very restricted in its nature, as an autistic person. I mean, it's pretty much just restricted to the creation process.
Right.
And I mean that in like a day to day kind of way as well, right? I
Sure.
mean, yeah, it impacts my day to day living. It's pretty much the only thing I can actually do. But so the time and the energy is finite to try and figure all of this stuff out. And I
Right.
mean, that goes for all of us. That goes for all artists, whether you're autistic or not. I always mention that I'm
Oh
autistic
yeah.
because it's important. Know? Um,
Well, it's a
and
massive time suck because not only are you spending the time to actually make the music, but then comes the business side of it. And the business side of making music is it can be even more difficult than the music part itself because you're one
yeah,
person, you don't have a team doing this
yeah,
for you. And yeah,
right. I mean, this is, I mean, man, this, it comes back to what we were talking about and about being the restricted nature of autism spectrum disorder.
right.
Um, because, I'm very lucky. I do have people who help me with this. Um, but if you don't have that, it's an added barrier. If you are autistic and you somehow find the way to cope and to actually, write it, right, to get it out of your
Yeah.
head, you then have an added barrier. And I mean, the thing is, it's like you kind of have to take that in your stride and accept it. Now, like I went through quite an emotional roller coaster early days in Instagram, like trusting all these idiots that are selling fake shit. There'll be a lot more about that coming later in songs. Don't worry.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
but long story short, it's after that I want to now listen. When we talk about this song and it is about a person, I have to protect this person's identity as much as possible. So um, I'm not going to actually say much. I'm going to talk in very loose and general terms about this individual.
Okay.
Um,
So wait,
but
so
he's
really quickly, Raya is just a pseudonym, just a fake name for the subject matter on the actual song itself?
Raya is a pseudonym for the person
Got it.
uh,
Okay.
who is
Sorry.
who is
Keep going.
characterized. Yeah, who is characterized in the song, and so no, I befriended him somewhere. Again, I'm not gonna say where. And I heard it. We became friends, and he's an incredibly gifted, creative person, but he's different, and he's from a place where being different is like a almost a daily. It's you're crucified for it on a daily basis, right?
Sure.
Constantly. Yeah, and I mean, he was bullied to the point where he attempted to take his own life. He's okay, thankfully. Um,
Jeez,
and yeah, well, I mean, dude, this is if you are different, and unfortunately,
right.
this is the kind of pain that people like me have had to deal with or have to deal with, and some of us have no support for it. Um, so I mean, it really it hurt me to see that this kid was going through this kind of stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a friend to you the best way I can, and the song came out of that. It was born out of that
Mhm.
kind of connection, right?
Was this a
Um,
recent situation though? Considering the song is coming out now?
well, no, I mean, again, I'm not gonna say when this happened in this
Okay.
person's life. I have to be very careful here, man.
Yeah.
These people aren't very nice people, so I can't take any chances at all. But like I found out, like, what I will tell you, I'll tell you this, like I found out relatively recently, quite after the fact. I kind of found out around about when I had written that song. What was that? Whatever the last one was called. Was it called? Yeah. So, and
OnlyFans?
yeah, that's the one. And then, so I mean, I
Yeah.
like, and this is it's kind of nice when this happens as an artist because like you're like, okay, you know, I've got stuff that I can release, but then something's happened, and then I can work on different projects for like as long as is necessary until it's finished. Right? They're just constantly swirling around, and then some of them are
Yeah.
dark.
No, it's best not to restrain yourself to certain time that you don't want to rush
No,
the art.
but the great thing about this was it just flew out. Like the song just completely it just flew out of me, right? And
Sure.
and that happens when like the feeling is fresh and strong enough.
Hmm.
It'll just write itself pretty
It's
quickly.
the best kind of song though.
Yeah,
Or that's the best kind of creation
yeah,
is yeah.
I I guess, yeah, I guess in a way. Um, but this what like this really reminded me what this is all about.
Right.
Like one connection like this with a person that is authentic and real, and and it translates into something creative,
Sure.
um, is why I do this, right? And the frustration of it not reaching people,
Yeah.
an audience, was like it was alleviated, you know,
Hmm.
like and I really wanted to hold on to that feeling and remember that because whatever challenges emerge going forward, and there'll be many, like this is the kind of thing that I don't want to forget and let go of. And so yeah, and I mean he's doing well. He's okay. I talk to him every day. Um, which is the most important thing. Um, thanks for listening to it. It's as you probably noticed, it's quite savage in places, but I just
Yeah.
had to be there.
No,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
get it, man. I mean,
yeah,
even it being just a couple of, just a few seconds over the 2 minute mark, it feels a lot more powerful than that. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy the short song because it makes for high replayability. You're just like, damn, that song went hard. Oh, and it was only a couple of minutes. Now I can listen a few times. But you're not adding in a bunch of filler to it to make it this longer 3 to 4 minute track. You're saying what needs to be said in a short amount of time, and you're getting the point across, which is great.
thanks. I mean, that would be a cool topic to talk about, actually, song length, because that's something I think a lot about. Uh,
Well, I think that's something that a lot of artists, I mean, at least, I mean, when I think of like mainstream artists that are releasing these 20 to 25 track albums so that they can rank higher in streaming, but that they make their
Mhm.
songs anywhere from a minute to 2.5 minutes, they're doing it on purpose. Like it's not a
Yeah,
joke. They get paid the same amount for a minute song. Anything that's over 30 seconds
correct, correct.
gets paid out.
Can we just geek out on this one a little bit? Because I've been,
Please, I would love to.
yeah,
Yeah, I think of
I
Drake immediately. He kind of kicked that off.
yeah, yeah. So, because as I'm a millennial, so I grew up when songs, in rap, hip hop, songs were like
Mhm.
at least 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes
Sure.
long. Right? I mean, you think Stan was like almost 6 minutes long or something,
Right, right, right.
and so, and metal, of course, has always had longer songs, especially going back. They'd be like 10, 15-minute long songs. You go to
Oh
some of
yeah.
Metallica's first albums, right? So, um, but then I kind of figured that it's partly economic. Well, it's economics is a major uh, factor as to why this has happened, like shorter songs, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you got a market which is now stream driven, as you said, there are a lot of independent artists. It's cheaper to produce like a
Yeah.
shorter song.
Well,
If you're
yeah.
not, yeah, if you have your own, like you have to pay for studio time, like a lot of us do, like I have to right now. Sometimes your hand is forced, and you have to, because I'll be honest, I would much rather have like longer songs that say more. However, you have to be. I've learned very quickly. I have to be adaptable and malleable. And stubbornness is. I mean, that's not a virtue in this. When this art becomes business,
Right.
it'll hold you back. It really will. And the other thing is I sense people these days. I mean, kids have now gotten used to it, right? Like their brains are used to something happening instead of every maybe 16 bars, 24 bars.
Right.
They're expecting something to happen every 8 or sometimes even 4, right?
I
They're expecting
agree.
right, and they're expecting it to end within a certain sweet spot.
I know, but I hate that. That kills me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would, I mean, listen, again, I'm not the person on the other end making the music, so I don't have a say in the matter. But as someone who listens to music regularly, super regularly, knowing that an artist is not making music for themselves, rather they're making music for a subset of an audience, kills me. It's ruining the artistic approach. They're not making music because they're enjoying it, they're making it for a market of people. And just like you just said, the people are expecting something every 4 bars or 8 bars, and things are not traditional as they used to be, but not because it's better, but because it's making them more money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Now, yeah, now I'm glad you said that because this was an internal war I had with myself.
Sure.
And and I think yeah, I mean it's up to every artist to really look deep within and find a solution to that. I seem to have found something that works for me. Um because I don't feel like I'm compromising on things like what I'm trying to say and how I'm trying to
Yeah.
say it, but yet it's in a smaller package at the moment. And
Right.
and actually, it's like it, I would never put something out that I don't want to do, right? Like I'm just not
Sure.
going to do it.
No.
People talk a lot about how hard the grind is for an independent artist. I think we should focus on the things that are real positives. We can say pretty much whatever we want.
Yeah.
Like no one is saying you need to sound like this or you need to say this or you
Yeah.
know to
But
a certain extent.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, yes, the grind for an independent artist is extremely difficult, but at the same time, it obviously it still gives you the freedom to do what you want. You're not being like puppeted by a major label that's telling you, okay,
Right.
6 months from today, the album needs to be done, whether it's done, or you need to force it out. You're releasing music on your own time. You're doing what you want to do and you're living your life, and no
Right.
one is holding you to a certain standard besides yourself. So there
Right.
are definite pros and cons here. I mean, obviously, the dream would be to keep being an independent artist and self-release your music, and millions of people still continue to listen to it. But unfortunately, there's only few artists out there that are able to do that. So it's this fine line, and it's difficult overall.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, but one thing, I mean, look, I'll speak for myself at an early stage. I only started releasing back in October, and it suits me right now. It's kind of like, um, there's a lot I have to be detached from,
Yeah,
like mentally. I have
sure.
to detect, dude, the word, like the term blowing up is toxic to me. It really is. It takes me to a very dark place very quickly. I try
I
not
get
to
that.
think about these things.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, you know, so I have to be very focused and present in the moment. And for me right now, given certain variables, it suits me to have songs between. Dude, I heard a song the other. I can't even call it a song. It was 1 minute 34 seconds, man. I was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
You can't really
Right?
accomplish a lot in that time frame. So
Oh, but
that's
like the kids are streaming it in like
I bet they
hundreds.
are. I don't doubt that for a
What?
second. Because
Everyone's
it
losing their minds, right?
right, yeah.
So, but like, uh, no, I found a formula which I'm satisfied with. But I also, and so we're talking song length here, and I also know that it's the ears that are out there today are not gonna be like they're not going to be bored with it, and maybe someone like yourself will be like, okay, maybe that felt kind of short to me, but
Sure.
I'll fuck with it. I'll give it the time of day, right?
Yeah.
Because and like, so I'm happy with it internally, like, and that's the most important thing. Like that is the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, if I I spent so much of my time and energy, 90% of it goes into this. If I don't sleep at night anyway, man. I've got shit swirling around my head. But what I don't want swirling around my head is this idea that I've compromised myself.
Right.
You know,
That's
you
yeah,
know, and
no
that,
sellouts.
right, and that's why I feel for, man. Like, I've changed how I view myself as a fan of music and artists.
Yeah.
When we were kids and we're complaining about how our favorite band or whatever sold out, right?
Right.
I kind of see a more empathic point of view, and I'm like, well, what if their hand was forced? Like a label made them do this, right?
Well, a lot of the times that is what's happening, and they don't really have a say, man. I mean, listen, I've never seen a label contract up close, but I can only imagine that there's some amount of crap in there that the band didn't look over, or the lawyers didn't look over, that makes them force their hand to do things that they don't want to be doing.
Yeah, or I have neither, or maybe we're just like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, sign it.
Yeah,
It's a
right,
fucking
exactly.
four, it's a 4 album deal. You're not going
Yeah,
to get this opportunity again.
yeah,
But either way, the point I'm trying to make here, Austin, is like, you know, I have empathy for artists whose hand is forced into doing that, because like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, man.
sure.
And imagine having to put this record out and then tour and perform it again and again and again and again and again. But you feel deep down inside, man, this isn't really me, right?
Yep.
So these are the things that me and my peers. I hope, just I want to shout out Limerick, who's a very talented artist from somewhere in Canada. That's what he
Right.
says on his Instagram. I think they've changed the rules there. He's from Ontario. What's up, Lim? Spade Morningstar, very talented artist that I found with this thing. I hope to maybe collab with him one day. But what were we talking about? Yeah. So like, these are the things we should really be grateful for. Like
Yeah.
we can focus on this, right? And I don't think about this whole blow up nonsense, man. It will make me literally sick. It will make me mentally and physically sick. I will start doing things, right, that are not me.
Right.
That yeah. I will start doing things that I'll start following people on Instagram just to get a follow back, liking, commenting inauthentically, all of that crap. And that's just not good, man. It's not good in my spiritual ledger,
Right.
right? It's just right. And so yeah, I mean, I'm sure you find all of these things fascinating, like as a music buff, and to see how, are you a millennial too, by the way? may I
Yeah.
ask?
Yeah.
Right, right. So, we're in this period of like of real transition. Musically, we're witnessing it, right? And
Oh
and
yeah.
dude, I don't want to be that, that boring old dad who's like back in my day. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying, but like there things are changing on a daily basis. Like things have never changed as fast as they are right now. So like you can be that person. There's nothing wrong with that. You have frustrations that you need to voice, and I get that.
yeah. I mean, just one more thought on that, if I may.
But yeah,
Um, again, listen, like I am trying to be as, I mean, I'm pretty isolated as it is. It's an autistic thing, but like I'm trying to be. I'm not taking in too many influences from what's going on out there, and that's really
sure.
important. It's really important for my own development because whatever will emerge will be like, I'll feel like it's me, and as much me as is possible, because there are millions of variables outside of this. Should I sound like this guy? Should I sound like her? Should I do this? Should I do that? And dude, I mean, it'll tear me apart. What's the point in doing this, man?
Get it.
It's for me, right? So, um, I mean, I'll tell you if you want to know who I'm listening to right now. Like, dude,
Please.
the only mainstream hip hop artist, may he rest in peace, BB Jackson, Pop Smoke. He's the only person I actually really listen to. The other hip hop artists I'm listening to are my peers, right?
Mhm.
The guys I found on Instagram,
Sure.
and women, Stassany. Shout out Stass. She's very talented. She's dropping again soon. And I'm gonna tag them all in my post this time. So yeah, like I'm listening to them and I'm really enjoying it. I don't need to listen to what's out there. I really don't.
Right.
And to be honest, dude, I don't care, man. Like I
Yeah.
really don't. It's a waste of fucking emotional energy, man.
I get that.
I'm gonna put it all into
Also,
the creation.
yeah.
I'm gonna put it all in the creation. The other thing I wanted to tell you about, like, I was sitting on Instagram because, and look, it makes sense. The organic, in other words, free reach has been suppressed because why? They're owned by Facebook. They don't need to connect people for free, right?
Right.
Half the world is on the goddamn thing, right?
Exactly.
Right. So it's another barrier for an indie artist. Like I do have a bit of money. I'm not rolling in it, but I have some funds I can invest into this. And they've got it, and I've started putting them towards Facebook ads. Right. I'm learning that whole thing.
How
Luckily,
has that worked for you? Because I know that with new updates, people are complaining that their ads are not working the same because the tracking, or I'm sorry, not the tracking, the targeting is not the same as it was a month ago. So, I mean, we don't need to get into like who you're targeting and what age ranges, but at the same time, like
no, I'm laughing because I mean, isn't
it's
that just
different.
typical?
It
Isn't
is.
that I mean, one day they're gonna make a robot. You're gonna have to buy the robot and keep it at home to understand it. It'll be a Facebook fucking robot. I swear to God. And then
You're right.
to keep up to date with everything. I mean, how's it going, dude? I'm overjoyed actually because okay, I'll put it to you in these terms, right? Of all the um, fake marketing gurus slash con artists
Yeah.
slash assholes that I met over the last 9 months, I met a couple of gems. I'm grateful for them. Lachlan at, I keep forgetting his name. I'm sorry, LCD Productions. I'll tag you in this. He knows his stuff, right? He's a very smart kid, and he gives out, a lot of. There are people out there who give out a lot of free, genuine, real marketing advice, right?
Sure.
And one of the things these guys say is, you're a Walking Dead fan.
Not really, but
You're familiar with the character Carl. He's a bit of a pop culture kind of.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. So Carl's like the lead character's son, and there's a joke. There's an in joke in the show. He's like, so I was looking for Carl. Like, where's Carl, right? And so they often tell an artist like, you need to find Carl, right? In other words, you
Okay.
got to find the kid who represents like you. Now, what I figured out just from putting this ad out, I'm not looking for Carl. I'm actually looking for myself. I'm looking for my former self
Okay.
when I was a kid, because and it was just a eureka moment, which is kind of obvious now, but like the artists who I gravitated toward the most and who
Mhm.
really got me reflected me. They were a mirror of me in some
Sure.
way, right? And what one good thing about the targeting, right? Until, unless they're up to their games or whatever, but in principle, what I found, like, you can be quite specific,
Right.
and you know uh, there is a scientific way to approach it as well, which is quite interesting if you're into that kind of thing. Luckily I am. you
Yeah.
know um you know and what I found was that the shit I'm in, lo and behold, the shit I'm interested in, which is reflected in the music, right, is what a certain demographic of kids are interested in. And I've got these kids now interacting, engaging, and following and talking to me in my DMs and connecting with me because of
Sure.
those ads. And that wasn't happening on Instagram organically, uh, right? I mean, if I put a post up and I get 80 to 100 hashtag reach impressions,
That's a whole
right?
nother topic, is that is
Right. Yeah,
not
like,
a thing
yeah.
anymore.
No, but that's what, unfortunately, that's what we have to do, right?
Yeah.
Um, like, so, but I'm really, dude, I'm really grateful. I'm overjoyed. I'm talking to these kids and I'm getting to know them, and they're liking what I'm saying. One person saying like, this song means a lot to me. I'm really looking forward to this drop. You know, that's why we do this. That's why we do this.
I get it. So like what kind of ads are you running at the moment? Like press releases for your music, like, hey, I have this coming out soon. Or like what are
Well,
you trying to accomplish, just to further expand your reach?
so it's in a nutshell, I'm putting out, there's the ad creation, so it has to aesthetically look the part,
Of
um,
course. Of course.
right? But the vibe and the messages it's conveying is, do you feel different? Do you feel, like an outcast, or and
Oh.
is that a problem for you in your life? Because that's who I used to be. And if
Mhm.
so, come and check me out. You may connect with my stuff. Come and join us, right?
Yeah.
Let's start a fucking cult, like
I
Charles
mean,
Manson used to joke.
people
That's
respond to
it.
that though.
Yeah, sure. So, and like, it's real, it's genuine, it's authentic. I don't feel like I'm putting gimmicky kind of, like, this shit out, right? Whatever it is,
Yeah.
like this, so the ads are usually like, I mean, there's the artwork from the songs and clips from the songs with a nice
Sure.
caption, and you send it to the right people, you will get a response. I mean, it's how it is. And unfortunately, dude, listen, the thing is, man, like, you touched upon this earlier. It is, you know let's just take this blow up concept for a second, for the sake of argument, right? I mean, what it does do is it gives you a platform, right?
Yeah.
That to me, that's all that would be, is a platform to get this to as many people who will,
Yeah.
you know relate to it, and hopefully get something from it. But for these people who want to blow up overnight, man, okay, if you're running an ad, I won't give you the statistics right now, but like, I'd have to scale it to like the tens of thousands,
Oh yeah.
spend per month,
It's
man.
not
Like, I'm
reasonable.
one, I'm one guy. I'm not Zuckerberg or fucking, what's his name, Elon Musk, right? You can't.
Right.
I don't have that kind of spend, you know. So, and in theory, like, if someone has that, if I get 10 followers from $100 and I put $100,000 into it, it's just simple math, man, right? If you got those $100,000,
Yeah.
you throw it in there, your account blows up. But,
It
and it's
sucks.
not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair, right? We can't go and get a venture capitalist.
Not for an
It doesn't
independent
work.
artist, but that's the thing
No.
with like, are you familiar with like industry plants? Like certain artists that are planted by the labels that they think are going to blow up, but they turn it in a way that makes it feel like this organic blow up.
Oh, I've not heard of it. That is a
Oh,
fascinating concept.
dude.
I'm gonna look that
Yeah,
up.
definitely look it up. I can't
Thank
give
you for
any
that.
real examples right now because I don't want to call anyone out, but do some research, check it out. It's a very interesting topic because it basically goes into, you can buy an audience, you can manufacture music that people will like because you tell them to like it. And it's normally pop artists. as you could probably guess. But yeah, do some research. You'll be interested in what you find.
You know who I'm thinking of James Hetfield right now. If you said that to James Hetfield, no,
Yeah,
seriously, man. I mean, like this. Anyway, sorry.
it's
I'll check it
okay.
out. I'll probably get very angry and write a song about it
You
if you
will.
want.
Oh, you
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, yeah, you probably will.
How are we doing for time, by the
We're good,
way?
man. I'm gonna start wrapping things up.
All right.
Mainly because I think we've covered a ton. I think the anger is out, but in a good and productive way. It always feels good to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, by the way, I'm not like an angry person in my real life.
No, no,
I'm
no.
just.
Listen,
I'm a
I
very passionate. I'm a passionate person, and my medium expresses a lot of that in
I get it,
a
man.
very
I
angry way.
understand. As a creator and a person that also wants to get their content out there, it's makes me furious to know that you can have a following and you can post things to your following and no one sees it because you're not paying the platform to show the people that follow you your content. It's beyond screwed up. And there's nothing that you can do about it besides open your bank account.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a gap in the market for a new platform just for musicians, and then for a period of
100%.
time, you get free reach, and then that blows up, and then that'll start monetizing it. So, I mean, it's you got to accept it, Austin. What do you
Yeah.
do? I think that's
I
not
mean,
something
that's why
you
people are going to
require.
TikTok because that's where people are finding organic reach at the moment.
Right. And okay, I haven't gone to TikTok for the reason we talked about at the top of the conversation. That is not me. Right.
Same, same. I'm not about
And
to start filming my. I mean, I do it here, but I'm not going to be like putting myself on camera, like coming up with stupid videos all day. That's just not me as a person. It might work, unfortunately, but it's just not me at the moment.
absolutely.
So it's tough. It's a tough situation.
It is, but like I said, and if I end on any note, I want to say that we have to focus on the gratitude. We got to focus on, and for
There
someone
you
like
go.
me, an ex addict and an addict, and a very someone who was diagnosed very late in life with autism and ADD,
Mhm.
the fact that I'm alive to do this and talk to someone like you, someone who genuinely supports an empathic set of ears with stimulating conversation. I mean that's it. I'm there. I've made it.
I
I
know.
have. And if I lose sight of that, right? If I lose sight of that, I will lose myself all over again. Right?
I
I'm
get
not
it.
doing that.
I get it.
Um,
You
anyway, I
know,
hope you thanks for listening to the track.
yeah, I was
Just
gonna
very
say,
quickly,
please,
we love
please.
going off on our segues. I just want to very quickly say, like, it turned out to be a song about, like, I kind of just turned it into like a bullying awareness thing because it was about a
Right.
kid who was bullied very badly. Someone I know, I've characterized him. He's okay, thankfully. If anyone does want to listen to it, who has been bullied or is interested in that kind of thing and get something from it, I'd be very humbled. And is a melodic hook in it. It's
It's sick.
pretty,
It's awesome,
yeah.
and I think
Thanks.
everyone should listen to it. I'm assuming that this is going to be coming out after the official release date, but drop the release date for us, please.
Yeah, sure. It's midnight US Eastern time, Wednesday the 16th of June. So this coming Wednesday.
Hell yeah, man. Well, again, I'm going to thank you so much for taking the time. I'm glad that we can make our different time zones work.
Thank you
But
so
for
much.
everyone else out there,
It's a joy,
Riya
man.
IRL, Riya IRL, June 16th. And not only listen to that, but check out the rest of Flowgli's music because it is, I mean, it's just great. It's great. It's honest. It's original. It's innovative. And you can tell that you're happy making it, which makes it even that much better to actually listen to. So I thank you again for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much for what you're doing, Austin. And I'll see you for the next one, man.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Take care and stay safe, man. I'll see you.
Take care, man.
Bye bye.
Peace.